Good evening, and welcome to another fiscally responsible episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your financial and fiduciary host, Voice of Doom. Alright. Thought I'd do another diatribe for no good reason, but I see what's happening all over the place, and I gotta throw in my 2 small cents. But when you talk about doom, and you talk about people coming to the end of their rope, I'm seeing it, and if you look around, watch YouTube and watch it for a few hours, you realize that people are really reaching a point where they can't do it anymore. Now, I already explained my ripoff. This is a mutual, I will pay for your assets so I can use it for a few years, and then you will own it and I will have nothing with the timeshares. Because it's a good metaphor, or it's a good example of how the common clay is, convinced to pay for other people's property. Now, I told you, bought a timeshare, and we used it, and we had good times there, and we enjoyed it. It was a second home to us. It was like, yeah, we have a second place, where we can take a week off and you feel like you're actually living, because we enjoyed it, the pool, the horses, San Diego, whatever. Okay. Paid for it over the years and finally paid it off, and the HOA dues kept coming every year. And at first they were like $120 to pay for the maids and the pool keepers and the horse people and everything else. And it's like, all right, that's fair. But then $240, and then $340, and then $540, and then $840, and then $1,040 every year. And suddenly it's like, I own this place, but I can't afford to pay. I'm going to pay $1,000 a year to use my own timeshare when I could pay $1,000 and have a reasonably good time somewhere else. So eventually you can't pay anymore, and you stop paying. You say, I can't do it, and they foreclose, and they take it, and they own that resort that I paid for. Now, I'll let that go. I don't give a crap, because this planet is a penitentiary planet, and it's just doing time. So if the rich get richer, their doom will be later, when they are reborn on another planet and eaten by bugs. But it's just an example of how we're being priced out of living. You keep on, raising prices. I mean, I look at all these things on Epic Economist and all these things, and it's like, well, my rent went up to, $3,000 a month. When I was paying, $2,100, now it's up to and they're saying they don't know what they're going to do, and everybody's going nuts. I already said this was going to happen. It may not happen with a cataclysm. It may not happen with Noah's Ark. It will happen with everybody slowly realizing they can't afford to live. Because, if they told me my mortgage just went up to $3,000 a month, I would say my heart, I'm going to put my house on the market and get out of here. I don't care where I live, but I can't do that. So I look at all these people. I don't know where they're getting their money. And what's funny is when you look at YouTube and you watch the shorts and you watch the blurbs and you watch this and that, you don't know what's real anymore. I just went into my homepage just 2 minutes ago, and first thing on my feed was something from some place, some channel that is into doom. And they were saying how Reno is just inundated with RVs and everybody's on the street and it's an absolute chaos. And you see a picture to get you to click it, showing the streets of Reno, downtown Virginia Street is cluttered with, RVs and people just sitting around on lawn chairs all over the place. And that's not happening. So I know it's not real. I mean, maybe Reno's going to go down as a really low rent area, but it's not going down the way they're saying it right now. So I can't look at anything and say this is what's happening. But you see an awful lot of things on YouTube about looting and places being ransacked and just absolute anarchy and no regard for the law or the mystic law of cause and effect, knowing if you ransack this place today, your life is going to be ransacked later. Happens every time. Every time. Don't show me anybody that goes into an AM/PM or some other place and starts, throwing down the racks and wrecking the place and stealing a few chips and gloating about it and putting it on their YouTube page or putting it on their TikTok, that go on to live successful lives. They're Dr. Carter, who discovered, is a neurosurgeon. He started out looting and he turned his life around. That's a very rare thing. Most times you just head down the wrong path. And even if the government has reopened or will reopen or whatever it does, it matters not, because the curtain's been pulled away from reality where people see, hey, I'm paying, I can't buy lobster. And now these people with their SNAP are buying lobster, and that's not fair. Call it what you will, but if you take stipends from the government, you should live frugally. I sure did. I sure do. I went to the grocery store today just because I had a few extra dollars, and I bought the most expensive thing I bought was, a half gallon of rum. That was $17. That was the most expensive thing. I bought myself some sushi for $6 to treat myself to a treat. And then I bought tuna fish, I bought chili, I bought butter, eggs, cottage cheese. I bought 3 packets of Parmesan cheese for $5. It was a good deal because Parmesan is expensive. I bought bacon for $5 because I bought the cheapest I could find. And not much more, a few other things, but I spent $60, but most of it was for rum, which is money well spent. But I mean, I live frugally because I use cash, and I want to stretch my money. And, $6 or $8 for a big bag of rice, that's a lot of food for a while. So you got to think about the future, because it could be over soon. But just example of somebody who has to pay on the dollar head, pay on the barrel head for the food. I got tuna fish. And to have some 7 kids mother who's bitching and complaining because their $2,000 didn't come through from the government to buy lobster and ham hocks or whatever the hell. It's expensive. Even ham hocks are expensive, so don't even talk about races. Meat is expensive. I don't even go near the meat area unless it's right in front and it says, a big pack of pork chops for $5. You got like 5 of them in there. Yeah, okay, that's a good deal. But I have to shop frugally, and I do. Now, Orangey, his glory is alluding to giving us a rebate or a cash share. We're all shareholders in this here United States of $2,000 because of all of his tariff deals, and I think that's great. I think that's very smart, and if he actually gets away with it, it will be very interesting to see it happen. Because I could use $2,000. I mean, it'll increase inflation incredibly. I mean, who they're going to give it to? Taxpayers, people who fill the tax return out. Well, what about the people who are poor? It's not fair if you don't give it to every living, breathing person, no matter if they're legal, illegal, or whether they're not even a gammy yet. It's like if you have a kid in the next 6 months, I'll give you $2,000 for that too. Okay, whatever. How are they going to do it? I don't know. But they could share the wealth. If he brings in $30 trillion of tariff money, then bring it on and share it with the shareholders who have contributed to this country. It's obvious. But I don't know if he's going to do it. And I don't know how he's going to do it. It's going to be a lot of money. But, okay, let's just say he does give everybody $2,000 now. Do these Orangey haters who've called him a Nazi, who've called him the worst thing ever, the worst thing to ever walk the earth, do they take the $2,000? Because I know if Petri Dish gave me $2,000, I'd cash it because I insulted him. I didn't agree with his policies. But I didn't wish him dead, and I didn't call him a Nazi. I just called him a corrupt, incompetent, demented, corrupt, double corrupt fool who's never been a very competent politician and has used his position to aggrandize himself. I've called him that, but I don't say, you're a Nazi, you deserve to die. I'm glad if you, whatever. I don't say that because all life is valuable. Now, I would take his check because it's like, the way I see it, the government wastes enough money. I mean, they waste a lot of money. So if you give me $2,000, I think, yeah, I've been on this planet for over, getting towards 70 years now. Not quite, but, I've been working for over 50 years, and I've contributed. I've never caused any crime. I've never been a burden to society. I've tried to keep my environmental, footprint clean. I generate 1 bag of garbage every 2 weeks. I don't waste and I don't make a mess. I don't litter. So give me $2,000. Yes, I could use that well to pay off bills for about a month. Give it right back to the system, the big money pit that takes everything. So I'm sorry for people who are young today. I'm really sorry. So it was only a short period of time in history from the moment the first amoebas joined together to become, a cell, till now. There's only been like 70 or 80 years of true prosperity where we could rape a country dry and tax people and enjoy the fruits of the Industrial Revolution and the Technological Revolution and the Communication Revolution, to be boomers and the parents of boomers who lived high on the hog. And after that, forget it. It's back to dog eat dog. It's back to, Attila the Hun. It's like you only need a few things. You need food, water, clothing and shelter and safety. Well, I have a house, which I'm still paying on, and it's supposed to afford me safety. It's like anybody could come in and with a, hobnail boot could kick in my door with no effort. So me locking my door is futile unless I really have faith that I'm going to be safe because I'm in my comfort zone of my house with my food and my water and my cats and my bed and my pillows and my books and my piano. So I have that safety. But if a gang of marauders come to my door, they could kick it in very easily and take everything. And I'd be lucky to have my skin. So things are getting bad. It's going to get worse, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot more existential nonsense going on around. Everybody's getting scared. They're heading toward their hidey hole of Jesus coming back or what have you, the cosmic whatever. We'll get into that later. I just want to tell you that I feel sorry for these people. I don't know how they pay $3,000 in rent. I couldn't do it. But I could talk to Elon. We could come up with a solution in about 2 days. If I could just be left alone in a room, I could come up with a solution with him. But he wouldn't listen to me because he's way above my pay scale. All right, I'll leave it there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.